In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. But the earth became waste and emptiness, and darkness was on the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was brooding upon the surface of the waters. And God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And God saw that the light was good. And God separated the light from the darkness. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, one day. And God said, "Let there be an expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." And God made the expanse, and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it was so. And God called the expanse heaven, and there was evening, and there was morning, a second day. And God said, "Let the waters under the heavens be gathered together into one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. And God called the dry land earth, and the gathering together of the waters he called seas. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let the earth sprout grass, herbs yielding seed, and fruit trees bearing fruit according to their kind, with their seed in them upon the earth." And it was so. And the earth brought forth grass, herbs yielding seed according to their kind, and trees bearing fruit with their seed in them according to their kind. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. And God said, "Let there be light bearers in the expanse of heaven to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and for seasons and for days and years. And let them be light bearers in the expanse of heaven to give light on the earth." And it was so. And God made the two great light bearers, the greater light bearer to rule the day, and the lesser light bearer to rule the night, and the stars. And God set them in the expanse of heaven to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. And God saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, a fourth day. And God said, "Let the waters swarm with swarms of living animals, and let birds fly above the earth in the open expanse of heaven." And God created the great sea creatures and every living animal that moves, with which the waters swarmed, according to their kind, and every winged bird according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the waters and the seas, and let the birds multiply on the earth." And there was evening, and there was morning, the fifth day. And God said, "Let the earth bring forth living animals according to their kind, cattle and creeping things, and animals of the earth according to their kind." And it was so. And God made the animals of the earth according to their kind, and the cattle according to their kind, and everything that creeps on the ground according to its kind. And God saw that it was good. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, according to our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of heaven, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creeps upon the earth." And God created man in his own image. In the image of God he created him. Male and female he created them. And God blessed them, and God said to them, "Be fruitful and multiply, and fill the earth and subdue it, and have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the birds of heaven, and over every living thing that moves upon the earth." And God said, "Behold, I have given you every herb that produces seed that is on the surface of all the earth, and every tree which has fruit that produces seed. They shall be for you as food. And to every animal of the earth, and to every bird of heaven, and to everything that creeps upon the earth, in which is a living soul. I have given every green herb for food. And it was so. And God saw everything that he had made, and indeed it was very good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the sixth day. Thus the heavens and the earth and all their hosts were finished. And on the seventh day, God finished his work which he had done, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had done. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because in it he rested from all his work which God had created and made. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, when Jehovah God made earth and heaven. And no plant of the field was yet in the earth, and no herb of the field had yet sprung up, for Jehovah God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was no man to work the ground. But a mist went up from the earth and watered the whole surface of the ground. Jehovah God formed man from the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul. And Jehovah God planted a garden in Eden in the east, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground Jehovah God caused to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight and good for food, as well as the tree of life in the middle of the garden, and the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And a river went forth from Eden to water the garden, and from there it divided and became 4 branches. The name of the first is Pishon. It is the one that goes around the whole land of Havilah, where there is gold, and the gold of that land is good. Bdellium and onyx stone are there. And the name of the second river is Gihon. It is the one that goes around the whole land of Cush. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. It is the one that goes east of Ashur. And the fourth river is the Euphrates. And Jehovah God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and to keep it. And Jehovah God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden you may eat freely, but of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, of it you shall not eat. For in the day that you eat of it you shall surely die. And Jehovah God said, It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make him a helper as his counterpart. Now Jehovah God had formed from the ground every animal of the field and every bird of heaven, and he brought them to the man to see what he would call them. And whatever the man called any living animal, that was its name. And the man gave names to all cattle, and to the birds of heaven, and to every animal of the field. But for Adam there was not found a helper as his counterpart. And Jehovah God caused a deep sleep to fall upon the man, and he slept, and he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh in its place. And Jehovah God built the rib which he had taken from the man into a woman, and brought her to the man. And the man said, This time this is bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh. This one shall be called woman, because out of man this one was taken. Therefore a man shall leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. And both the man and his woman were naked, and were not ashamed before each other. Now the serpent was more crafty than any other animal of the field that Jehovah God had made. And he said to the woman, Did God really say, You shall not eat of any tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, Of the fruit of the trees of the garden we may eat, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the middle of the garden, God has said, You shall not eat of it, nor shall you touch it, lest you die. And the serpent said to the woman, You shall not surely die. For God knows that in the day that you eat of it, your eyes will be open, and you will become like God, knowing good and evil. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was a delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make oneself wise, She took of its fruit and ate, and she also gave some to her husband with her, and he ate. And the eyes of both of them were opened, and they knew that they were naked, and they sewed fig leaves together and made loincloths for themselves. And they heard the sound of Jehovah God walking about in the garden in the cool of the day, and the man and his wife hid themselves from the presence of Jehovah God among the trees of the garden. And Jehovah God called to the man and said to him, "Where are you?" And he said, "I heard the sound of you in the garden, and I was afraid because I am naked, so I hid myself." And he said, "Who told you that you are naked? Have you eaten of the tree of which I commanded you not to eat?" And the man said, "The woman whom you gave to be with me, she gave me fruit from the tree, and I ate." And Jehovah God said to the woman, "What is this that you have done?" And the woman said, "The serpent deceived me, and I ate." And Jehovah God said to the serpent, "Because you have done this, you are cursed more than all the cattle and more than all the animals of the field. Upon your stomach you will go, and dust you will eat all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your seed and her seed. He will bruise you on the head, but you will bruise him on the heel." To the woman he said, "I will greatly multiply your pain in your childbearing. In pain you will bring forth children, and your desire will be to your husband, and he will rule over you." And to Adam he said, "Because you listened to the voice of your wife, and have eaten of the tree concerning which I commanded you, saying, You shall not eat of it, cursed is the ground because of you. In toil will you eat of it all the days of your life, and thorns and thistles will it bring forth for you. And you will eat the herb of the field. By the sweat of your face you will eat bread until you return to the ground, because from it you were taken. For dust you are, and to dust you shall return." And the man called his wife's name Eve, because she was the mother of all living. And Jehovah God made coats of skin for Adam and for his wife, and clothed them. And Jehovah God said, "Behold, the man has become like one of us, knowing good and evil. And now, lest he put forth his hand and take also from the tree of life and eat and live forever." Then Jehovah God sent him forth from the Garden of Eden to work the ground from which he was taken. So he drove the man out, and at the east of the Garden of Eden he placed the cherubim and a flaming sword which turned in every direction to guard the way to the tree of life.